How the fuck that feel, nigga?
God damn it!
The story begins in Los Angeles, 1992, with Mercer receiving a call from Child Protective Services. He has been granted conditional custody of his son, Antoine. As Mercer goes to wake Antoine for school, a man named Riggin meets his friend Copeland, persuading him to join one last heist so they can finally leave their criminal life behind, at Mercer's home. Antoine refuses to eat breakfast while news on the radio discusses the Rodney King case, a white officer accused of brutally beating a black man. The case has drawn significant attention from the black community. Meanwhile, Riggin picks up his brother Dennis and takes him to their father, a cruel man, to discuss the details of their planned heist. Their target, a platinum-filled safe inside a factory. The safe is highly secure, with a mechanism that locks it behind a metal cage if triggered. Despite Riggin's meticulous planning, his father dismisses the idea, doubting their ability to bypass security. Frustrated, Riggin holds back his anger and drops his father off at home. Unbeknownst to him, Mercer, who works at the factory, watches from a distance. Later, Mercer stops by a grocery store and encounters a group of young troublemakers harassing the Asian cashier. When he calmly asks them to leave her alone, they threaten him with a gun. Just then, their leader, DeVille, intervenes, reprimanding them for not recognizing Mercer and his past significance in the community. DeVille apologizes and asks Mercer about his recent release from prison, revealing the real reason Mercer was absent from Antoine's life. Mercer admits he has been out for 6 months and is keeping a low profile. Riggin, determined to proceed with the heist, takes his father to the factory to show him their insider information about the vault layout. The elder man remains skeptical, criticizing their ability to execute the job undetected. Riggin, already frustrated with his father's behavior, silently endures the belittling remarks. As tensions rise across Los Angeles, news breaks that the jury has acquitted the officers involved in the Rodney King case. Outraged, the black community erupts into violent protests. Antoine witnesses rioters looting a liquor store near his home, while Riggin sees an opportunity. With police preoccupied with the chaos, he calls his father, who finally agrees to proceed with the heist, at the factory. Mercer, worried about Antoine's safety, asks security head Joseph if his son can stay inside. Given Mercer's history, Joseph agrees. Meanwhile, Riggin, Dennis, and their team set their plan in motion. Riggin grows furious when he discovers his father has hired 2 extra thugs for protection. As they break into the factory, Joseph, who had left his post, accidentally stumbles upon them and is immediately shot by the thugs, much to Riggin and Dennis' shock. Elsewhere, Mercer drives through the violent streets to find Antoine, who is standing frozen near a looted store. He grabs his son and takes him to the car, telling him that violence isn't the answer. At the factory, the thieves work on the safe, but when Joseph regains consciousness and triggers the security alarm, the metal cage begins to drop. In a desperate move, Riggin drives a forklift forward to stop it, but in the process, Copeland's leg is crushed. Riggin tries to reverse the forklift to free his friend, but his father selfishly refuses, valuing the platinum over a man's life. Furious, Riggin confronts his father, but the thugs steal the forklift keys, ensuring Copeland remains trapped. A police helicopter, alerted by the alarm, briefly scans the factory but finds nothing suspicious and moves on. Meanwhile, Antoine attempts to escape to join the protests, but Mercer restrains him, urging him to see how the destruction is only harming their own community. Back at the factory, the thieves finally blast open the safe, but before they can celebrate, Mercer and Antoine unknowingly walk into the building. Suspicious of the missing security guard, Mercer proceeds cautiously. Antoine, needing to use the restroom, unknowingly startles Dennis, who immediately pulls his gun on him. At the same time, Mercer finds Joseph's lifeless body and arms himself with Joseph's gun. A shootout ensues between Mercer and the thugs, but he manages to evade them. Determined to save Antoine, Mercer cuts the power to the factory. He knocks out Riggin upon seeing him near the loading dock and takes him captive. Meanwhile, Dennis watches over Antoine, unaware of Mercer's presence. Inside the vault, Riggin's father grows impatient with Copeland's cries of pain and ruthlessly kills him, horrifying both Antoine and Dennis. To save himself, Antoine pretends he was only looking for his father, prompting the old man to let him go. However, his thugs soon report Riggins' disappearance, leading the old man to suspect Antoine lied. He decides to use the boy as bait to lure Mercer out. Outside, Mercer attempts to signal another police chopper, but a thug ambushes him. They fight viciously before Mercer ultimately kills him, sending the body crashing through the glass ceiling of the vault, shocking everyone below. Mercer frees Riggin, who, realizing the extent of his father's cruelty, decides to turn against him. Meanwhile, the old man and his last thug cover the vault in acid, preparing to make their getaway with the platinum. The criminals propose a trade, Antoine for the van's rotor. Riggin warns Mercer it's a trap, as his father never leaves witnesses. Mercer, realizing the danger, enlists Riggin's help. At the loading docks, as Dennis loads the platinum into the van, Riggin's father fixes the rotor but suddenly aims to kill Antoine in retaliation for the thug Mercer shot earlier. Mercer acts fast, shoving Riggin into the van's path and opening fire. Dennis is fatally shot in the crossfire. As Riggin mourns his brother's death, he turns on his father, engaging in a final shootout. Though he manages to kill the last thug, Riggin is shot in the chest. Antoine and Mercer, distracted by the gunfire, crash the van. Riggin's father approaches, seeing his precious platinum scattered on the ground. With Riggin barely alive, the old man offers a rare moment of regret before coldly executing his own son. Just as he prepares to kill Mercer, Antoine, his hands shaking, picks up a gun and shoots the old man, saving his father. As the chaos settles, father and son embrace, leaving together as dawn breaks over the city. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.